Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure in the United States and very, very quickly, moving very rapidly, creating over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately. This monumental undertaking is a resounding declaration of confidence in America's potential under a new president. Let me be a new president. I didn't say it, they did. So I appreciate that, fellas. But it'll ensure the future of technology. What we want to do is we want to keep it in this country. China is a competitor and others are competitors. We want it to be in this country, and we're making it available. I'm going to help a lot through emergency declarations because we have an emergency. We have to get this stuff built. So they have to produce a lot of electricity, and we'll make it possible for them to get that production done very easily at their own plants if they want, where they'll build at the plant, the AI plant, they'll build energy generation, and that will be incredible. But it's technology and artificial intelligence, all made in the USA. Beginning immediately, Stargate will be building the physical and virtual infrastructure to power the next generation of advancements in AI, and this will include the construction of colossal data centers, very, very massive structures. I was in the real estate business. These buildings, these are big, beautiful buildings. They're going to employ a lot of people. And physical campuses and locations currently being scouted nationwide. They're making their choices of locations. I think they have their choice. I'd like to ask Larry, Sam, and Masa to say a few words and just talk about a little bit about what they're doing. And if you have any questions, and then we'll go into a couple of other subjects also. But this is, to me, a very big thing, $500 billion Stargate project. I think it's going to be something that's very special. It'll lead to something that could be the biggest of all.
Nvidia's stock, along with titans like Dell, Oracle, and ARM Holdings, is on a meteoric rise. Why, you ask? It's all thanks to a colossal push by President Trump's administration towards artificial intelligence infrastructure, Stargate, which promises to channel up to $500 billion into US-based AI projects over the next 4 years. The early buzz is undeniable, with industry heavyweights Masayoshi Son, Sam Altman, and Larry Ellison at the helm. Welcome back to Investocracy.
I think it's an honor to the country. It's a great honor that this group, these are the top people, that they're going to do it, and they're going to do it here, and we're going to make it as easy as it can be. A $500 million Stargate project comes in addition to a separate pledge between $100 and $200 billion from, as we know, from Masa that we talked about before. Also $20 billion from DMAC, which was great. And we have many others that are coming. Some I just say, just announce it. It's easier. But with some, I know them, and they're so highly respected, I'd rather do it this way. Many would like to do it this way, but we're letting the world know what's happening. This is money that normally would have gone to China or other countries, but in particular China. In total, before the end of my first full business day in Washington in the White House, we've already secured nearly $3 trillion of new investments in the United States, and probably that's going to be 6 or 7 by the end of the week. Tremendous amounts of money are coming in for many things other than even AI. AI seems to be very hot. It seems to be the thing that a lot of smart people are looking at very strongly. And our country will be prospering like never before. I think that's true. And it's going to be the golden age of America. As I say, yesterday we had the most ambitious, action-oriented day of any administration in history. No, there's never been a first day like yesterday, as you know. I signed a sweeping slate of executive orders to stop the invasion of our borders. I launched a government-wide effort to defeat inflation and bring down the cost of daily life and bring down the cost of energy, magnificently bring it down. And when energy comes down, Larry, I'd say generally speaking, when energy comes down, everything else comes down. The prices of food and the prices of everything else come down. Energy is that's the big baby. And we declared a national energy emergency to drill, baby, drill, our term that we use. We're going to drill, baby, drill like never before. We ended destructive DEI mandates across the federal government and returned our country to a merit-based system and a common sense system. As you know, the Supreme Court gave us a decision on merit, where things in this country can be based on merit now instead of a lot of different rules, regulations, and things that really put our country at a big disadvantage. We permanently stopped government censorship and restored free speech. That was signed yesterday. We renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Sounds so beautiful, the Gulf of America, and returned the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley. They took off the name, and he was actually a great president. He was a very, very successful businessman. He ran for governor of Ohio. He won and did a great job as governor, ran for president, and he won. He was assassinated, ultimately, in his second term, unfortunately. But he was the tariff king, and I don't think he was as bad as I am. I think I believe in him even more than him, but he believed in him very strongly. And he raised massive amounts of money. Our country was at its richest from 1870 to 1913. We had the most. That was when we were the richest, relatively speaking. We were the richest during that period of time. That was tariffs from other countries. And our administration's moving with unprecedented urgency and speed to confront every single crisis facing us, and we'll get the job done. And again, I want to thank Sam and Masa and Larry for being here. It's an honor to have them.
As the stock market buzzes with the energy of 1,000-day traders, the joint venture between OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle named Stargate has sent ripples across the financial waters. A staggering initial investment of $100 billion is laid out, with the speculation-laden promise of blossoming into a $500 billion commitment in 4 fruitful years. Picture this, a sprawling data center in Texas with Nvidia's top-tier hardware and GPUs making it all possible. For the uninitiated, Nvidia's processors act as the brain and brawn of most advanced AI applications, making them indispensable as the world races towards AI-driven futures. So, when a project like this launches, it is not only a benefit to those involved, but it is quite literally going to benefit the brainchild of the operation even further. But before going on with the video, are you into cryptocurrency? If so, check out our second channel, Investocracy Crypto. We bring you breaking news, expert analysis, and the latest trends in the fast-moving world of digital assets. Whether you're a seasoned crypto investor or just curious about the future of finance, we've got something for you. Click the link in the description to subscribe to Investocracy Crypto now. Don't miss out and stay ahead of the game. Now, let's get back to the video.
Deirdre Bosa has more in today's Tech Check. Deirdre?
And Kelly, China is key in this equation. Whereas Biden saw AI as an existential threat, perhaps against humanity, Trump and his inner circle of tech VCs and founders, they see China's AI progress as the greater threat. And so removing the EO is one way of addressing that shifting dynamic. For years, China was also seen as far behind the U.S. in terms of AI investment, research quality, industry leadership. In recent weeks, though, that notion has really been flipped on its head. Chinese lab DeepSeek has shocked Silicon Valley with its breakthroughs. First, they released, and this is just a few weeks ago, an open source model that rivaled our best American ones, built at a fraction of the cost with less performative Nvidia GPUs. And then over this past weekend, another major advancement dropped. It's R1 reasoning model that one source tells me proves China has, quote, fully caught up. Now, the latest breakthrough also leading VC Mark Andreessen to repost this from an NVIDIA senior researcher manager, emphasizing, we are living in a timeline where a Chinese company is keeping the original mission of OpenAI alive. Truly open, frontier research that empowers all. Now, Andreessen's firm is also an early backer of OpenAI, and he is part of Trump's new tech inner circle. You've also got Scale AI co-founder and CEO Alexander Wang, who took out a full-page ad in the Washington Post today, reading, America must win the AI war. Now, Wang's former executive, Michael Krastios, He's now on Trump's tech team as an advisor to AI and crypto czar David Sachs. So to put this all another way, Kelly, the motives and the incentives around AI development influenced by tech leaders in the president's ear this time around, they are shifting. Guardrails around things like privacy and unintended consequences, they may be taking a back seat to prioritizing innovation, and the EO may be, or revoking it may be the first symbol of that.
Right, but the primary thing being that DeepSeek is kind of catching everyone here in the U.S. off guard.
Absolutely. I mean, from a lot of the people I talk to, and they also say, by the way, that they're not just copying sort of what OpenAI has been able to do, but they're innovating on top of it, which is a really key distinction here.
All right, Deirdre, we appreciate it. Thank you. Deirdre Bosa for reporting today.
Nvidia isn't alone in the gain train, however. Oracle, Dell, and the newest tech darling ARM holdings are riding the news wave too. Already, speculation bombs are being dropped about exponential demands for Nvidia's GPUs and Oracle's cloud solutions, igniting debates in digital financial forums. As more states become gravitational points for this venture, the stakes are at an all-time high. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Steve, I want to start with you. We spent a good amount of our 9 o'clock hour at the top of the hour discussing the implications for Microsoft of what appears to be sort of a deepening connection between Oracle and OpenAI and the expiration, so to speak, over time of the exclusivity of financing by Microsoft. So what do we know or what do we surmise here?
Yeah, David, this is what we're seeing. It's Microsoft sort of losing its grip that it once had over OpenAI. Until yesterday, it was the exclusive cloud provider for OpenAI, the hottest startup on the planet. And now, instead of being the exclusive provider, it has what they're calling the right of first refusal. So OpenAI says, they'll come to Microsoft saying, we need this cloud capacity for X, Y, and Z, what we want to do. And Microsoft can now say, we don't have the capacity to serve you. You guys need to go somewhere else. It's very clear they're going to Oracle right now, but this also potentially opens up the window for those other hyperscaler companies we talk about so often, Google and Amazon, even smaller players like HPE and Dell. They can all get in on the game as well. And that's also what the Stargate thing is about, is OpenAI using its own money and its own cash to invest in cloud capacity. And you might remember, David, we've heard CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, say several times throughout the last year that they literally don't have the cloud capacity to keep up with the enormous demand they're seeing for artificial intelligence. That's not just OpenAI. That's other open source models. That includes Meta's models and so many other models that are also running on Azure cloud servers. That's why Microsoft said they're going to spend $80 billion in its fiscal year ending at this summer just to build out AI infrastructure, half of which is going to be happening here. And so all that money is effectively, yes, going to go towards NVIDIA. This is great news for NVIDIA and all these other companies. But what we're seeing now is Microsoft losing that exclusivity on the cloud. It makes a lot of money from having this cloud deal with OpenAI. The more OpenAI activity that happens on Azure cloud servers, the more money both companies end up making. So this is potentially them just because they don't have the capacity to do it. They're kind of ceding some of that potential revenue growth to other cloud providers.
With stocks on a bullish ascent, Nvidia stands as a beacon of opportunity within the tech landscape. Their current trajectory, bolstered by an investment of this magnitude, presents an inviting prospect for potential investors. Analysts have forecasted a steady growth pattern, suggesting that this is not merely a short-lived eruption, but a sustainable climb towards dominance. So, what's your take, dear investor? Are you ready to invest in a future sculpted by silicon? Or will you watch from the sidelines as history unfolds? Share your thoughts. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.